This code here is for a card template. And these card templates can be used for a wide variety of things. Maybe the client has certain services they want highlighted. They want their company values highlighted. Maybe they have like a step-by-step program or something. So these can be really, really useful for that. Even includes a button, as you can see here, that you can link to a different spot on the page. And so we're going to go ahead and copy that and paste it in here. First thing we're going to need to do is we are going to need to get an image. Let's go over here and we'll copy this and we'll paste that right here. Now I'm using just kind of like a graphic here, or an Illustrator graphic, but you can use real images, you can use stock photos, whatever it is that you need to have here, you can make work. Okay, always, as always, need to make sure that we include our alt tag. Helps with SEO purposes. Okay, then we come down here to our title. Let's go ahead and just put header. And you can see that this is already wrapped in a U tag so that it immediately underlines the header. Helps with hierarchy. For the description, let's just go ahead and we'll slam in some gibberish here. And then our button. And now obviously we're going to need to duplicate this, so copy it. Let's paste it a few times. Okay. And let's go ahead and change that to card 2 and card 3. And that's just in the event that for whatever reason maybe you need to make special adjustments to just one card as opposed to all of them. Always good practice to structure it like this. So now that's done, let's save it. And now we'll go ahead and plug in our CSS. And as you can see, it automatically gets everything all set up and structured like we like it. So starting off with our cards container, you'll see that it is set up as a display of grid. And the only real thing that you're going to need to worry about in this particular area is this right here in grid template columns, the 400 pixels. So this number right here tells the page when to wrap a row. So in other words, that's set to 400 pixels. So whenever these reach 400 pixels between right here, it will wrap that row. Now, if you want to do less than that, you could come up here and do 300. And it would take longer until it wraps. Okay. And likewise, if you need it to go longer before it wraps, you just choose a higher number. We're just going to go ahead and choose 400. Now, grid row gap here, you can mess with this a little bit to create some extra spacing. But sometimes when you do it, it does this weird thing where it wants to add spacing throughout like each module. In the event that you have something like that, that is precisely where our modified class comes in. So you could just go card 3, margin top, and let's do 2rem. Okay? So that's one reason why these little unique guys are so important. But testing purposes, just get rid of that. Say what we got is fine. So next thing here is the card. And you'll see right here where it says grid row span 3. So obviously we have kind of 3 different elements, as you can see in our HTML. Right? We've got image. Then we have a div class where it wraps all of our text. And then a button. And so if you were to take that and say take it to 2, it would automatically bump everything up here because you're only telling it, well, I only want it to span, 2 spots, right? This will always automatically just kind of default and be set at 3. So let's say we want to go ahead and make our image smaller. Go with 200 pixels. We want to go with a black color and a font size of 5rem. Again, if you were doing this seriously and building out a site, these would obviously be vars set within your universal code, but again, for what we got going right now, it's good enough. So let's go ahead and choose 1rem here for that, and let's choose black for that color, and then we'll set that color to blue, let's say, for the button. 1.25 rem for the font size. Okay. And let's just say here for the font size we want 1.31 rem. It's always very important industry standard that your buttons always have some sort of hover effect, right? So you could even have it change colors. You could have it change background colors. You can add that to this if you want. But I just have font size set here as default, and then of course we have transition right here to help it give that nice smooth effect. So the other thing I wanted to address is why grid instead of flex? And that is because when you have cards like this, grid helps line and structure everything better than flex does. So for example, right now, all of our text is the same here. Okay? But let's just come back here and say for card 3, we wanted to add quite a bit more text, right? And then let's say for card 1, we need to add a little bit more too. So what happens is because we have grid, and because the cards here are set as a display of subgrid, okay, what it does is it always makes sure that everything is lined up. So all of these images are lined up properly, all of the headers are lined up, all of the text is lined up, and all of the buttons are lined up here as well. And the other nice thing about this setup is we could have as many cards as we want here. And it doesn't matter because it will always make sure that our code is nice and structured, that it is responsive as well. So if we go down, you see how it breaks. Then we hit another point and it breaks again. It goes down, and then at that point, all you got to maybe do is mess with some spacing or the size of your images or your font, those sort of things. So hopefully this will help make things a little easier for you, a little faster for you.